assuming what we can do is we can wait and see if there's any come in. We asked, we weren't requiring that they be in, but we asked that they be in by then.
Today was the due date. I think you probably. And after, as long as you treat it right.
Dave, did you do the key on the bottom door?
Prop it open with it.
I've got it open with a code.
Okay.
Hopefully it stays open.
Yeah, I think you'd have. We'll see if anything shows up tomorrow and somebody says, hey.
Cody, yet? Jeff, you got a speaker?
Yeah.
Welcome, everyone. Would everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, remain standing for a short invocation. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Dear Lord, as we gather this evening, this council ask you for your strength, your courage, and your wisdom. We thank you for this wonderful town we live in, and a privilege that it is to serve the people in it. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Call to order the meeting of the May 2nd meeting of the Mooresville Town Council. Gentlemen have had a chance to read the minutes from our previous meeting. I need a motion to either amend or approve the minutes as written.
I make the motion we approve the previous meeting as read.
Motion been made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Josh Gregg, 4-0. Unfinished business. This is a public hearing for Ordinance 6, 2023. This is the Lassiter Super Annexation. We started this project or this process less than 60 days ago. The Lassiter family had requested annexation of property on State Road 67, just south of the Lowe's property. At the same time, the property did go before our Planning Commission. Even though it is outside of our non-jurisdictional control area, we did start the process all at the same time. This is a public hearing. At our next meeting, we will have a full fiscal impact plan or report, and the ordinance would be adopted then. So this will be considered a public hearing and a first reading. Is there anyone from the public to either speak for or against this annexation? I need a motion to close the public hearing.
Motion to close the public hearing.
Motion been made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor? Aye. Greg, Jeff, 4-0. We will take no action on this evening. There were no questions. We do have a gentleman here from representing the developer. He has been in very kind, courteous contact with everyone at the town to just make sure that there's nothing that they can do as a developer to assist us. But at our next meeting, it will be the second reading, and we will either pass or deny the request. Banner update.
I'm going to ask if Gina would come help me with this.
Gina said you're on your own. Do it. Do it
Well,
yourself.
Well, I'm not.
Tired of hearing from me, that's all.
So I sent a partial packet to everybody yesterday. I did add a few things to the packet tonight that are just easier to view in hard copy. Also, I didn't want to overload you with too many attachments yesterday. So hopefully everybody had a chance to review those, and if you have any questions, I can answer those.
Questions from the board? I had a couple of questions. First off, I've been accused of the good old boy system and everything like that. I noticed that one of the banners does focus on a parcel owned by one of our fellow council members. I would ask that maybe we look at that from a different direction or something like that. I also noticed that there was some questionable artwork that had been done that one of our council members had wanted to kind of address, and it is focused on that also. We could maybe take a look at that. The second one comment was the hometown that's close to everywhere. I don't know if we're rebranding the town. I still like that home of the Indiana state flag. I don't know what the decision was on that one.
I can remove that. That can be removed without a problem.
And I found it very ironic when you see that, because there's an airplane up in that picture, and it's a double-edged sword. I've sold it as, hey, we're only 15 minutes from the airport, and then when the people complained about the noise, it was, oh, we're 15 minutes from the airport. So
Absolutely, I'm happy to take that out of there.
well,
Not a problem.
I kind of like the airplane. I was saying that, but as far as rebranding the town, unless the council sees a different.
This isn't really a rebranding. This is, fortunately for me, Joan at Jarbo has been a huge help with me and these banners. The home that's close to everywhere was developed by the Bicentennial Committee, so that will actually be in a lot of their information for next year, or our information for next year. We threw it in there. If you guys like it, great. If you don't, that's okay. We can.
I didn't know where that thought process came from. I was not privy to that.
I mean,
that
we
bit
are
of
a small
information.
town that's pretty close to everything. I mean,
Well,
we're close to-
I don't know if you would ask the attorneys from the Taft Law Firm. It takes forever for them to get here sometimes.
It's not bad. It's really not.
Oh my goodness! And can I ask what the other picture was that?
The other picture is the buildings there across the upper right-hand corner. I just know that we have been accused time and time again of being good old boys and trying to enhance our own stuff, and one of our council members owns that building. I don't want to put him in that awkward position.
Okay, I understand. That was a picture that Joan and I personally took, but I can always.
You did an outstanding job. The photography is amazing, but I'm just trying to
Okay,
say, hey,
no,
let's fight the fights we can.
Right, absolutely. So it just so happens that the two that you have chosen are the ones that are supposed to be our general banners. So those are the banners that will stay up all year.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a suggestion of other pictures that maybe we could use?
I mean, and if you want to use those, that's fine. I voiced my opinion, and I'm finished there. I'm not a part of that committee. Like I said, those two items are the only things that really caught my eye.
Okay.
And I just wanted to be sure that they were brought to your attention. How you address them from there is completely up to you.
Understood. Okay.
Honestly, she gave us like 10. We looked them over. I didn't zoom in anything to notice anything.
This has been weeded down from multiples that I.
As a committee, we just picked, 6 or so. We can address those two, and then we can email the council, and,
Oh, I think everything else is great. Like I said, I didn't understand the rebranding because we've done so good for so long
Right.
with Home of the Indiana State Flag, and I just didn't know why we were
Agreed.
what the direction was there. I really like the Pledge of Allegiance one.
That's by far my favorite.
it's been a lot of time. I mean, Gina's probably put, I'd
Oh.
say 75% of it. I've talked to her probably twice a week for the last couple of months. So these here banners, we're going to do this is like a summer, and then we're going to have she's got a photographer that's kind of been working, donating their time to help us with the fall and the winter and the spring.
Yeah, so Mike Washington has offered to take some pictures for us as well. Right now, I'm working on the fall, the holiday, and the spring banners. So those are gonna have to come in the next couple weeks, because it does take time to design these.
Well, and, years ago when Jarbo designed our first website, and they found an old barn west of town that they took a picture of, and it really caught the attention of a lot of people. That was the one comment that everyone made was, that it just fit. And it was one of those deals where they were being creative, they looked at it, and I'm not saying to use it now because I think the barn's been changed and maybe it has someone's name on it. But at the time, it was something that you didn't see until they put it on our website, and then it was just amazing. So I have all the faith in the world and trust in them, and I know you worked with her for a long time, and I tore it down there in 30 seconds, and I didn't aim for it to be that way.
No.
You asked for
No,
my
no, no,
opinion,
no.
and I gave it.
That's what this is for. Because if you guys don't like it, then it doesn't happen. That's how this works.
Okay.
We didn't realize till a couple weeks ago, Dave and I, that we didn't have bottom brackets on
We had
High
what?
Street. We didn't have bottom brackets for High Street.
Right.
So he's been in contact with them, and they're sending us the bottom brackets. So, and his guys have been out numbering. It's been a long process, but I feel like we're heading in the right step and
Yeah.
get this,
I think so,
get
too.
banners on these poles.
So I need to make a decision as to which printing company we are going to use to print these. The printing company that I've dealt with the most, on the second page of your packet, is D&E Printing. They are out of Brownsburg. They are the same company that we are using to print the High Street Veterans banners. They're also the company that's given us the best price so far. Because this isn't going to be a low-cost ordeal right now. But I need to make I need a decision made on who we're going to use so that we can start sending these over and start getting them printed. Since we don't have banners out right now, it'd be really good for us to get banners out in the next couple weeks.
In your account to pay either one of them?
Not today.
Not today. Obviously, the idea of getting bids and quotes is to where we can justify purchasing one from the other, and obviously, we can't say that they're not reputable because we're asking another company to use them, or they're going to use them on a similar project throughout our town. With them being the lower price, I don't have a problem with that. I know that, Josh, you had asked, or kind of went over some of the funding options. I still think at this point in time, if we make the decision, we won't have to pay for it until then, but I think we still have the option of maybe approaching the RDC and asking them, not saying that the project is contingent upon that. Approve the project, approve a way for us to pay it, but also look for another funding source in-house within us, not with the committee or anything like that. So, Josh, I know you had found a couple places that you felt comfortable with on the funding. Do you want to share those?
Well, I was thinking I was looking at the 2235, possibly the riverboat, or the 4402, the CCD fund. I think the riverboat, there's still 40-something thousand, top of my head.
It's right at 39,000.
That's the two things that came to my mind on those. But I'm fine with voting on a decision to do the banners and asking the RDC. I'm not opposed to that. And I have been in contact with this D&E Printing. I spoke to him today probably for about 30 minutes, so we won't be billed for anything until we actually receive the product, so. But I agree with you, Tom. It's not a bad idea to ask the RDC if they're able to help us
historically, the RDCs with TIF funds have always included streetscaping into their basic acceptable uses of funds. Streetscapings and now gateways, and this is just trying to make the town of Mooresville a little more welcoming. With what I think we can do is go ahead and approve the vendor, basically approving the project, and no contingencies on the project, but funding source contingent upon a request to the RDC. Would that be acceptable to the council? Okay, then let's start out with approving, make a decision on the vendor itself. We have D&E, and we have, was it Wrap It Up? Is that the other one?
Yes.
D&E, Wrap It Up, with the difference being about $4,000. I did not see the total.
And I will let you know that D&E Printing has offered to, like 10 banners that we won't, in case we get something that's tore up, that we can call them and they will reprint that same one. So we'll have extra on standby, like.
Okay. Do you want to make a motion on the vendor then?
I'll make a motion to accept D&E Printing's bid for the banners.
Motion been made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Josh Gregg, 4-0. Now,
What's the total price?
total price on D&E is,
$21,030.
thank you.
Just making sure we were under 50.
We weren't, but I made some changes and now we are.
Because that's a purchasing regulation threshold.
The
under-
numbers I was
under
looking at
statute.
2 weeks ago were way higher, but I made some changes and we're okay now.
They're
we'd have to
using
get
watercolors. We're good until the first rain.
That was going to be the next thing, is I wanted to make sure that you understood that we are doing 4 different seasons with these banners. I know it seems like a lot, but the more that we change the banners with the seasons, the longer the banners will actually last for us. So we're looking at maybe in the next 2 to 3 years just having to replace the banners that we use all year, as opposed to having to replace all of the banners that we use, which is what cut our cost. Being able to use those specific 8 banners all year long is really cutting the cost on this.
Can I have a permission from the council in the form of a motion to make a formal request to the RDC for full funding or assistance in funding?
Make a motion to request from the RDC, assistance in funding the sign program.
Motion been made. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Greg, Josh, 4-0. They have, the RDC, not, and I don't know that there was anyone that's seated on the RDC now, but when this originally started, the RDC is actually the ones that brought up the ideas of the banners and funded them the first time, so. He told us once yes, he can't tell us no.
That's right.
So I do have one more question. With there being 3 more seasons that we have to design for, do I need to bring each season back for you guys to approve the pictures on before we move forward?
No, but if you send them to me, I'll give you my opinion.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I am okay with that, yes.
Do we want her to bring them back?
Yeah, I think so. Just so we get a look at them.
Do you want me to send them to you, or do you want me to come back to council? I don't want to be up here wasting your all's time in council meetings if we don't need to.
No, not a waste of time.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, guys.
Fire staff vehicle. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.
last last council meeting, I approached the council and basically advised that Chevy Tahoe or Shelley Calvalet had called and basically said that a Tahoe had came available. I presented it to you guys and the council for that. Reached out. The price for that vehicle was $42,450. Also, I know with Monrovia Police Department, they were looking for a vehicle to add to their town police department. In your packet, they did give an offer back for all that, for that purchase for that vehicle. And as I explained in my letter to you guys, basically, with the purchase with that vehicle going to the town of Monrovia, that would cover the cost of this purchase of this vehicle. I did include the quotes and from other agencies for staffing, or I'm sorry, lighting the equipment for that vehicle. They range anywhere from $8,000 all the way up to, I think it was $13,000. $12,000, I'm sorry. With that also being said, I know that you guys also asked if Kelly Chevrolet did trade-in values, and I apologize, I didn't get that printed out to you guys for your packet on Thursday. I did give it to you tonight. Their trade-in value for that vehicle was $6,500 for trade-in. I did try to Kelly Blue Book that vehicle, but with it being a Ford Interceptor, it's hard to get a quote for that vehicle, just because it is a police package vehicle. I did look on Municipid. Municipid they only had one vehicle on there. It was a 2019. It was listed for right now $7,000, and I just did that just a few hours or just a few minutes ago. So it's basically up to the council's decision on which way we want to move forward, if we want to move forward at all.
The truck that you're getting rid of, or the vehicle that you're getting rid of, is that the one you're driving?
So the one that I am driving actually is it's got less mileage on it. I'm going to keep that and keep it in our fleet and put it back out to the firehouse for the staff to use out there for going to classes, callbacks if we need to go out for an errand, go get supplies, do whatever they need to do once the new staff vehicle gets outfitted and all that stuff. The one that we're getting rid of is actually Division Chief Robinson's old vehicle. I had put him into the newer vehicle, which used to be Chief Metzger's, which had less miles on it.
The truck that you're moving out to the vehicle that you're moving out to the fire department, we bought a pickup truck that was going to be used to move the staff around, take them to classes and plow. That's still out there?
That is actually being used by Chief Russell with the understanding that when time comes and with staffing issues, that he was able to come out and do the plowing also for the fire department when needed.
You won't make him do that in the middle of July, will you? It'd be awful hot to be plowing.
It'd be hot in July.
So you're already using it as a staff vehicle?
That's
We
correct.
bought it for that, but we moved it into the staff vehicle. I have had two of the wise guy comments from taxpayers, which it's not wise guys when they're taxpayers, but it is, how does this make the fire department better? And how does this improve public safety? I struggled with answering it. I don't know, I know that we're using, again, old hand-me-downs because of the trucks that we got. Tim made a deal with the police department and we got the Explorers that we have now. The the bid on that shows that it is a non-pursuit, but it does have the wiring packages. And then you feel like there's another $8,000 worth of stuff that we need to put on it?
So when talking with Wayne Myers, JTN, and then the other company, which is Passive Solution, Security Solutions, which is Chief Buckner, who recommended. City of Lawrence uses them. And when I was talking to them, they basically said that since you're going from a 2014 to a 2023, the lighting and all the consoles and all that stuff is not going to fit properly.
I get that, but I mean, I didn't know, what extra lights, I mean, is this light bars and window lights and
this would be-
rails down
yeah,
the
I'm sorry.
side? And
I thought you were asking about that, but no, it would basically be for outfitting the emergency lighting, the sirens and stuff like that to that vehicle.
But the wiring is there, is that correct?
That is my understanding, yes. This is a special service vehicle, which is basically set up for a police package, but just not pursuit rated. And when they say it's pursuit rated, it's basically more for where the governor doesn't let it go very fast, or faster than normal.
Well, the timing was just off because, like I said, I had a couple people that the conversation started with, you wouldn't believe my tax bill, how much it went up. And then, and with the meetings being broadcast, they're saying, why are we doing that? And I did struggle with it just a little bit because we talked about a fire truck and needing it, and then we talked about this. Do you feel like our vehicles that we have now, are they costing us a lot of money? Or are they?
The vehicles are basically, I mean, it's like every vehicle. We're having to put money into them for preventative maintenance, just like our own personal vehicles. The resale value for these vehicles that we have is just depreciating. There's few and far between. Like I said it before, Ford can't give us a date if we even going to get anything. The only thing that we can do is put our names on them, just like I did with Kelly Chevrolet. And then we go from there.
Comments from the council?
Only comment I would have would be on the trade-in value. I question the $8,000. I feel that our car could be worth more than that, fully equipped.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and looking on the municipal bid here, there's 6 days left and it's up to 7. That's a black and white, which is a less desirable car on the civilian side. Nobody wants a black and white car. So we got a plain white car, and it's 84,000 miles, so.
I didn't even see how many miles were on that one.
Yeah, I don't know, it doesn't say. That would be my only question as far as like selling it to Monrovia, if we can get more out of it through a municipal bid or other ways of selling it, I don't know.
The funding portion of it, we can make it work. As long as we think that that's the asset that we need to focus on today for our fire department. I don't know where we're going to be with the SCBA's. I don't know, that you said the grant process, what are we looking, December or November before we know an answer on it?
That's worst case scenario. Best case scenario would be around October. That's when they start awarding.
And that is a $300,000 purchase.
That is, let's just say $500,000 is what I put in for.
So
I see what you're saying. I'm relying on our chief, I'm
that-
running the day-to-day operation side of things, and if he says, we need one, then
And
I
that's
trust
what the question was.
Right.
Is this where we want to focus? And if it is, we can make it work. We can make it work and hope that we get the grant on the SCBA.
So I do see that it was in the capital improvement. In the revised one, it does have it for 48,000. So it's something that you were planning on needing?
When that all got presented, to develop a plan for each department, I was basically looking at trying to replace vehicles every 5 years or so, on all equipment, basically. Fire gear, staff vehicles, computers, stuff like that. Over the last couple of years, yes, I have been replacing computers in different departments, offices and stuff like that. So we're pretty much up to date on our computers now. But again, that's a plan. It's, things do happen. Just like the garage doors. I didn't expect the garage doors to go out this year. So yeah, it's a plan that I'm trying to keep things rotating. So that way that we are up to date with our technology and better for funding our future for our fire department.
How many staff vehicles we have now?
We have 5. One of them was given to us or donated to us through the DNR program that was for free.
Yeah, and I think you fixed it up pretty well. So we have 5, and how many staff do we have that drive vehicles home?
3. The assistant chief, the division chief Robinson, and myself.
Jeff, you're thinking we need to figure out a different way to sell that, or what are you thinking on that?
I don't know. I know options are municipal, but what are other options legally we can sell them? I mean, you just can't sell them to individuals, correct? What's the process?
Correct. The process would require that the town declare that surplus.
Surplus, right.
And then you could. But that would be a prerequisite. Otherwise, public offer through something like.
So if we declare it surplus, we have to have an auction or we have to sell it to an auction,
No.
We can
You'd
sell
have
it to an individual?
You would have to either publicly offer it
right?
through something like municipal bid as an auction, or declare it surplus, and then you can deal on a more arm's length unilateral basis. Yeah. For instance, prior to selling directly to Monrovia without publicly offering to the world, basically, you'd have to declare it surplus
It's sell to Monrovia.
after that.
Oh, it would have to be declared surplus to sell it.
Before you could
To another-
unilaterally decide, I'm going to sell to X, Monrovia or anybody else. Otherwise, you have to let everybody bid on it, basically.
If the council remembers, when we sold the pickup truck, the engine, and the squad, we went through a sealed bid. And I want to say it went for 3 or 4 months before we didn't get any offers on the sealed bids. When we did put it on municipal bid, that's when we finally did get the offers coming in on that. It's just, again, I think we actually did sell the squad to a state Indiana volunteer fire department. So,
Comments or question from the board? Action from the board.
Seems like a lot to outfit one.
Chief, is this needed right now?
no. But, as I said before, vehicles are coming hard to come by.
And that's what makes it a hard decision. I mean,
It is a hard decision.
sometime when we need one, are we going to be able to find one? I mean, we've got one now.
Right.
I mean,
And
you're going to
and I-
have to make that call. You have to tell us what you need for your department.
As scarce as they are, I would move forward on it. However this council decides to go for it. Because like I said, Chief Buckner, I mean, he's got his name on them, and there's only one in right now. I put my name in, and I wasn't really scheduled to get it until later of the year. And then this one came available because they saw that we were a fire department and knew that we really didn't need a pursuit rated vehicle. So they asked if we could use this one instead.
Motion for Chief Dalton to proceed with the purchase of the 23 Tahoe.
Been made, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
The vote, you won the vote. The vote is 3 so far, and I'm going to tell you that I did struggle with that. I did struggle with, we're putting a $50,000 piece of equipment that I can't justify to the public on how we're going to do that. I am going to vote against it at this time, but the vote has been taken, and we're good there. Jeff, Josh, 3-1.
Reason that I kind of went forward on is because of the scarcity of it.
Well, they're not only scarce, it's a hand-me-down from a police department anyway, as a police car prior to a fire car. You know, at what point is it gonna wear out, you know? So,
Well, I'm talking
we've
about-
gotta have dependable equipment out there for
And,
public safety,
Yeah,
so.
no, I'm talking about the ones that he's got his name on now.
Well, you don't have,
Like,
he's only got his name on one, you're talking police,
No,
because you don't have your
you've
name
got
on
your
it.
name on one, right?
So if we took this one, my name will come off the other one. Unless Chief Buckner wants it.
But it's a non-pursuit.
No, that one is a pursuit.
Okay.
This one was the only one that came available that was a non-pursuit. It's a special vehicle outfit, basically, or service vehicle. So if Chief Buckner, I'm assuming that would probably go to Chief Buckner or another department. I can't answer that question with GM.
Make the phone call tomorrow, or tonight.
Thank you.
HVAC bid opening. Dave, you didn't receive anything, did you?
I did not. I did have a phone call today. The gentleman stated that he dropped one off, but we have not seen it.
Yes, I looked in the vault, and I also text all of the clerks in the office, and they haven't seen a bid.
But the building was closed today. We address this.
So given that this is an RFPQ, it's not a hard bid type of environment like you're used to, so it wouldn't have to be opened and considered here. Let's see if it turns up, if any of them turn up. And I think moving forward, given that this is a qualitative process under the Public-Private Partnership Statute, Indiana Code 523, I think so long as your treat bidders the same, we could maybe adjust. Today was the due date for proposals to be received. If there weren't any received, then we'll see where we go from there. Maybe we reissue an RFPQ and see if some come in. If you did get one that happened to, they'll evaluate it and consider it in the context of a potential recommendation to the council.
Proclamation Mental Health Month. Gentlemen, received this in your packet. Proclamation is for May being Mental Health Month. The proclamation reads as, whereas the area that someone lives in plays a significant role in their overall health and well-being, and whereas surroundings can impact if, how, and when a person's needs are met, which in turn affects mental health. And whereas having safe, stable, and healthy home conditions set the tone for achieving and maintaining good mental health. And whereas with early and effective interventions, those individuals with mental health conditions can recover and lead full, productive lives. And whereas each business, school, government agency, healthcare provider, organization, and citizen shares the burden of mental health problems and has a responsibility to promote mental wellness and support prevention efforts. Therefore, the town council do hereby proclaim May 2023 as Mental Health Month in Mooresville, Indiana. As the town council, we also call upon the citizens, government agencies, public and private institutions, businesses, and schools in Mooresville, Indiana to recommit our community to increasing awareness and understanding of mental health, the steps our citizens can take to protect their mental health, the need for appropriate and accessible service for all people with mental health conditions. Gentlemen, we have made several steps in just the past few months on trying to support mental health, whether it's just showing our support for a grant application or even up to and including some matching grants for matching funds for mental health grants. We went through this 20-some years ago when there was a rezone on some properties where a mental health facility was going to be located. And what we found was there's times that people just need a little help. And none of us are immune to that. So I wholeheartedly support this proclamation and would accept any comments or questions in regards to it. Jeffrey?
I have none.
Josh?
None?
Greg?
You're right, people do need a hand every now and then on things like this.
May Mental Health Month 2023 in the town of Mooresville, or move on to the next item.
I make the motion, we proclaim Mental Health Month of May of 2023.
Motion been made. Do I have a second? Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Josh, Greg, 4-0. Could you please? What everyone is here for this evening is this cemetery software presentation. No, you sit down.
Taking credit for this.
You sit down.
I'm just getting the equipment ready for you and Brenda to make the presentation. You all remember.
Map on the wall of the entire cemetery. When we presented it to Banning, they offered us this as an idea, and I was very hesitant at first, and you guys embraced it, and I thank you because this is amazing.
It is.
It is amazing. It's been on Facebook and the website since Thursday. If it wouldn't have been for this lovely lady's help, I would not be completed. It was a big job. There might be some errors, and I invite people to let us know. Call me, email me. Brenda still has her hand in it. How many hours did you volunteer?
481.
481 hours. We put a lot of hours into this. So, it's under the Town of Mooresville website. You go to community links, and you can get to, the very bottom link is and this is your map. In the search, you can type in a full name or a last name, and, oops, come on. I'm not good with it. And select the name. Okay. What's happening? There's still glitches. We're still working on it. Hang on. Whenever there's a problem, I just call Pete at Banning, and he takes care of it. So, Ellen Jeanette Payne is who I chose. It will highlight her plot. You click on the plot. It will show you her headstone. She does have a headstone. That's one side of it. There's the other side of it. Gives you her full name. If we have the birth date information, it's in there. We have the date of death. If there's military service, it's entered. And the location, Section 13, Lot 54, Grave C. And since it's been out there, we've had a lot of very positive feedback. And people that have questioned how to make changes or corrections, I just told them to contact the Public Works Department. So I'm very proud of it. It's very cool. Chris Branson said he's never seen a map this advanced, this accurate. So if I don't do anything else while I'm in Mooresville Outstanding, I'm very proud of this one.
You should be.
This is a big job, and I thank Brenda so much that we got it completed.
So can you click on one of the random squares?
Yep. I'm not using my computer, so you can just grab a grave, click on it. It'll tell you who's buried there, and it shows you it's the same information. We had kids, their summer project last year was some of our summer help. They took pictures of the headstones. And one of them didn't always get out of the sun. It kind of gives them the idea of what it looks like today. And then we would go to find a grave and find the same marker and insert it as well, so you could see what it looked like originally. So yeah, if you're looking for someone, you just enter their name, and we've had great success with this so far.
This is live being published now, it's on our website and Facebook page, is that right? Yeah, so, it's pretty cool. Again, Brenda, thank you. It's kind of weird with you not being in the office anymore, so.
Yes, she was there, yeah, helped me. So, yeah, that's it, and I'm very happy. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Comments or questions from the board?
No, I just know a lot of hard work went into that, and I thank you very much for doing that.
I'd like to say thank you, Julie and Brenda. Wouldn't leave, so. Job well done, and like Branson said, I think there's only a few of us that he knows about that technology like we got right now, so, on that. It's a good job.
It seems like our family's at a tipping point where there's more in the cemetery than there is out right now. And I've been passing it around to family and everything, and they're thrilled with it. I have family all across the United States, and they can do an amazing thing. Thank you all. Appreciate it. I'm amazed at it.
That's why I requested they be here tonight.
Yeah, Dave keeps typing in his name.
There yet?
Not there yet, not there yet. When we signed this contract, and I know that I said how much, and we worth every penny of it. Thank you.
There's still the back side that has to be done, all the documentation, burial transits, any obituaries, any information we have, we are entering it into another map for our records. It's not all public, anything, in case there's ever another flood or fire, heaven forbid, we would still have it electronically. So that's something that's going to be time consuming and different.
When you say if you never do anything else, both of you, this is a legacy that you've left for every family in the town of Mooresville.
Brenda with us.
I think Brenda was hiding from John. Thank you. Department heads, do you want to hit that while you're up here?
Yeah, well, just to go back and thank the ladies and thank the council for this program. And the only other thing I really want to add is Gina put a tremendous amount of work and effort into the banners. Just want to recognize that. That's all I have, unless any questions for me. So, I haven't seen them. I need to give them a call. They did quite a bit, late last summer. They still owe us a couple of lines to finish up here in the center of town. So I'll give them,
How they were getting along.
and, we still have a few manhole, to coat the inside, but I'll try to spur them along this week. Thanks.
Pat, do you have anything?
Just real quick, do you guys want to, as a council, or do we want to think about it and come back at a later date?
You either have to publicly offer it through some manner of auction. I think, I'm not personally familiar with the municipal bid, but I think that is the kind of thing that I'm talking about, or advertise it and receive bids. Or, if you want to sell it to a particular body or person, surplus, before you could do so.
Jeff, what do you think?
Get the most you can get out of it. I mean,
If we start the surplus, I mean, we can still, you wanna go ahead and, do you wanna go ahead and start the surplus today? At least, start the bid, and it doesn't, and we're not satisfied, we can refuse any and all bids, correct? And then we could say, okay, now Monrovia, we wanna sell it to you. Do you wanna start that, Jeff?
we'd have to have a reserve on it, right?
Yeah, municipal bid there, when I sold the three the last time, there was reserves on them. And that's the reason why the squad didn't, but the other two vehicles did hit the reserve. So yes, there is a reserve on the municipal bid.
Is there a time frame? 30 days?
It's been a couple years since I've been on there. I was thinking so too.
I just want to get the most we can get out of it. I don't know how much more, 4,000 miles. White SUV, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not a used car guy, so I don't know. 6,500.
Can we do that by our next meeting?
Yes.
It's fairly simple. I think it would be a matter of making sure it's on the agenda so the public has notice that it's gonna be declared surplus.
So I say we go ahead and tell him to start that process. We tell Monrovia we're working through how we may or may not be able to get rid of it.
Fair enough. I have nothing further unless you guys have any questions.
That's fair with me. And ultimately leave it up to the chief. If he thinks it, Monrovia comes back and ups their offer and he thinks that's fair, I think
They can
Let
bid
him
on
deal
it
with
too, on municipal
Yeah,
bids,
they can
so
bid on it too. Yes.
they can drop out whenever they please.
it's a good point too.
Okay, can I have a motion been made? Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Greg, Jeff, 4-0.
I have nothing further unless you have any questions.
Think so.
Thank you.
We don't have any other department heads. Kerry did send a note that he had other obligations he needed to take care of this evening, but he had nothing to report.
Nothing from me. We'll follow up with you on any proposals that may have, I know the annexation continues, and I think we've got a right of entry type of agreement
Okay,
that Ashley sent me today. Be sure to get that on there.
public comments? There's another department head here. I didn't say that. Go ahead. You go right ahead.
I just wanted to say thank you. Several years ago, my uncle, but still, the town of Mooresville took that issue seriously, and this is a great fix to that problem. So thank you for taking it seriously. This was pretty cool, and I just wanted to say thank you.
The cemetery. I apologize. I'm so sorry about that, Calvin.
Fine air diffuser and the lift station, sump pump station at the police department is redone, running, and we think it's.
You still, maybe every other day, send someone out to the police department. Let's just knock on wood and make sure, just maybe for a week or so. Okay.
In there, and we got it better than it was.
There you go.
It was. Don't have any other questions. That's all I have.
Questions? Nope.
Thanks, Calvin.
Thank you for taking care of that. I know it was a long time coming, but anymore, you hurry up and wait for your equipment, so. Brought to you by the people that guard your money. Approval of payment of claims.
Motion to approve claims in the amount of.
Motion been made. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Greg, Josh, 4-0.
Motion to approve payroll clearing in the amount of $211,908 and.
I'll second.
Made and seconded. All in favor? Aye. Greg, Josh, 4-0.
Thanks to Julie and Brenda and Gina for all their hard work. Also, I'd like to, Saturday I had an EMS call and after they finished the call, they helped the homeowner bag their, that was pretty good. I mean, you know, who knows what stress they had. And, it's the little things like that. That's it.
Gregory?
Took the words right out of my mouth, Josh. That was a wonderful thing to witness. Good week.
Our next meeting date will be Tuesday, May 16th, 2023. You guys want to have it here? About 6:30?
Let's do it.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor? Aye. Greg, Josh, 4-0.